Kathy of kathysright.com, and welcome. Been an eventful week. It seems the coronavirus is among us, and the people of the View are still dreadful. I've been taking one for the team. I'm not sure if I can do it anymore with them. They are trying to bring in political correctness as though that is something that's more important than the duty of our president to make us safer. So I find these backhanded comments that they give, like, why does the president call this virus a China virus or the Wuhan virus? That's racist. I don't give a crap what he calls it. I just want him to do his job and take care of it. Perhaps they have that luxury of worrying about petty things like that. The rest of us, we don't have people who do our groceries for us, and we have to do things for ourselves. So they do have that luxury. I love the fact that this country has come together in such a phenomenal way. I see neighbors helping neighbors. My neighbors definitely help me in every way that they can, and they're so sweet about it. They even shared some of their masks with me, just in case, because you don't know, and they're pretty wonderful people. We have a lot of wonderful people in this country, and they're going through something. I wonder how is this coronavirus affecting you? Something has happened with our Travis County here. They've now banned gatherings of 10 or more people at this point. And I don't know how long that's going to be in effect. But that includes churches. And that is messing with our faith. Now, sure, I have a home altar here. And I have blessed candles and I say my prayers there. I hope you have a place in your home that's special for prayer. Some people don't need it, but we Catholics like our tools. I do. And I'm praying a lot these days. Not out of a sense of fear, but out of a sense of concern for my fellow man. People are odd during these times. I was at a store. I hate to say it again because I'm always there, but I had to get supplies at Costco. And I had my gloves on, and I just finished putting the things in my trunk. And as I go to my car door, I'm taking off my gloves because I wore my gloves to Costco. And so I'm taking out the gloves, and I look around to find a trash can to throw it in because I don't litter. And I couldn't find one. And there was a young man who was putting away grocery carts, and he was getting them ready to take back to the store. And I asked him, where are the garbage cans? And he said to me, they all got stolen. I said, what? He said, someone came and stole all of the garbage cans in the Costco parking lot. I said, who thinks that way? Who thinks, who wakes up in the morning and thinks, you know what, I got an idea. I think I'm going to go steal some garbage cans from Costco's parking lot. Full well, I'm sure they have cameras everywhere. That doesn't make any sense to me. People do very strange things during strange times. And I'm constantly finding out new and inventive ways that people have gone cuckoo. And I find that there are so many good people still. I mean, I saw my friend Vicky and from my church, and we wanted to hug, but we couldn't, so we did a virtual hug. Have you guys ever done? We pretend to hug, a virtual hug. We don't actually touch. Stay about 2 feet away from each other. But virtual hugs are going to be kind of the thing. Nobody's going to be touching anybody anymore. We're forever changed. The people in the service industries have been hit the hardest because there's nobody to serve. Everybody's at home. And that includes restaurants. And that includes casinos. I'm not in Las Vegas, haven't been in years, but casinos are closed in Las Vegas. That's a lot of activity. That's a lot of money that they're not going to see. What will people who are addicted to gambling actually going to do? I really worry about the families of the people who work in the casino industry because they make pretty good money. We had a casino near our house when we lived in California because the Indian reservation was right next to our neighborhood. And they had a casino. We went there a few times. Very nice. Great food. Food was awesome. And very inexpensive. So it was definitely worth the trip. I went to a boxing match there too, and it was so much fun. I got to meet Oscar de la Hoya. I actually held his face in my hand. I mean, I came out of the bathroom, and he was standing there with, I guess, a friend, and I couldn't help but pass by him because that's the way that place was shaped. And I stopped and I said, Oscar de la Hoya. He smiled. He's so cute. And I grabbed his face. I said, "You're too beautiful to box. Somebody's going to hurt your face." And he just laughed. He was adorable. Not very tall, but very adorable. And Oscar de la Hoya and Terry Norton was there. There were quite a few. Lorenzo Lamas was there. And there was a lot of famous people there for that boxing match. That was years ago. I like boxing. A lot of girls that I know, a lot of women do not like boxing. They think it's barbaric. I love boxing. I didn't like it until I think it was on my second or third pregnancy. I think it was my second pregnancy. And I watched boxing with my husband one time. And at that point in my pregnancy, I felt completely out of control of my body. I felt my baby was in control of my body because every time the baby tilted her head, I had to go to the bathroom. My bladder was pressed. And I was having I'm not a happy pregnant person. I mean, I don't like those women who brag about, I just love being pregnant. I hated being pregnant. But I did it 4 times. And actually, I lost my first, so 5 times. But I don't dwell on that all the time, but I do think about those pregnancies. It seems like if you added it all up, I was pregnant for more than 3 years, probably 4 years of my life. I've been pregnant. And that takes its toll on your body. I mean, it's done okay by me. I'm fine. But I think for women who have even more, I just wonder how they did it. And I would have gladly had more, but something happened and I had to go to the hospital and take care of it. But my body just wasn't functioning correctly anymore, and so I'm unable to have any more children. But now I'm so darn old. Who cares? At the time, it was very traumatic. But Yes, pregnancy does a number on us. And every time I got pregnant, I'm thinking, when will I learn? I mean, my husband, every time he looked at me, I got pregnant. It was like I didn't even want to look at him anymore because I was always pregnant. And when you're having a baby, it's a journey. I didn't glow like the women, you see women who have that pregnancy glow. I never glowed. I was miserable, and I made everybody around me miserable. So I guess my husband's probably glad all the pregnancies are over because I'm not miserable anymore. I've had bouts of sadness, but no. But the pregnancy, I mean, food. And if you came between my mouth and the food on that plate, you probably would have gotten bit because that was what it was about. Pregnancy is about food. It's about what you eat all the time. And it is all you're obsessed with. And the first 3 months, nausea. So everything's gross. That's why it's so easy to quit smoking when you find out you're pregnant, because everything's gross. Raw chicken was gross. Raw eggs was gross. All those things that you see every day became gross. And so for me, I am so glad when I see young mothers now with all their kids. And I remember when I was there and I had 4, 6, and under all at the same time. I just smile and think, better you than me, because I've been through that. That was hard. And my children will never know how hard that was. That was difficult. And I wasn't one of those happy little mommies. I was happy to be a mommy, but I wasn't like, I tried to be. Like, I tried to be a mom like I thought a good mom would be. But then I realized, you get the mom you get, and I get the kids I get. And I had to be honest about who I am with my kids. And I tried to be a good mom. I hope I was a good mom. But you have your kids and they grow up, and some of them are, become very successful and some of them don't. And the ones that have failures or problems, sometimes you get blamed because you're the mom. You were there, and I was definitely there. So when they have problems, it's the mom's fault. But then when they're successful, well, that's just a freak of nature. I mean, mom had nothing to do with it. It's all me, 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 me. But you can't have both. You can't have it both ways. It's sort of like you can't say it's the mother's fault that this child behaves this way when this one doesn't, because I'm the same mom. Yeah. But this virus is making me feel as though the moms are going to be very busy the next coming months because schools are out. And I homeschooled a little bit for my son. And that was fun to me. It was easy because he was in 3rd grade the first time I homeschooled him. And I'll do it again for my grandson. It's super easy and it's super fun. And you can make it very fun. And now there's so much that you get help with. The schools will even sign you up and give you the books, virtual books online. So for all the kids that have to stay home, they might try homeschooling. There's a lot to homeschooling. People think that socialization in schools is super, super important, and perhaps they are. I think it's very important to socialize a child. But when you homeschool, you get to pick the children you socialize your children with. When you send them to public schools, you just get what you get. So I highly recommend. Looking back, I wish I had homeschooled all of them all the time. I really do, because it wasn't that hard. I mean, you could cover most of your subjects in about 2 hours, even if at a high school level. You could cover that. The only problem I had was when I did homeschool at the high school level for a short time, my math skills were not there. So I had to basically get a neighbor to help with that problem because she was very good with math. And so that's one of the things I love about homeschooling is when you are weak in one subject matter, you can find someone to help, and then you can swap out. Like I could teach your child a foreign language. I could teach French. I could teach Spanish. I could teach beginning Italian because I took Italian, and it's fun. That's my strength, and art as well. I love to paint, and so I could do that. But if you have friends and neighbors like that, but then now we can't get together with friends and neighbors because of this coronavirus, and I really believe it was concocted. Do you notice that you can never figure out? Like they say, it came out of this lab in China. Some say it came out of a lab in America. I don't believe that part, but they say it came out of this lab. It turns out this lab has patents on viruses that they've created. Patents. So why would you need a patent for a virus unless you were selling it? So I really think this was intentional. I know it might sound kooky to some of you, but I honestly believe this was intentional by the Chinese government. And what we're going through, we were swimmingly doing well in this country. Our economy was on fire. Everybody was working. Everybody. And that's why I think the Democrats are enjoying this. Marsha Wallace